to my video. Today, I'm going to be talking about episode 14 of season 18 of Deadliest Catch. 4 boats that are going to be in this episode are the Northwestern, Summer Bay, Saga, and the Brenna A. This episode, Mandy arrives on the Northwestern for the first time in about a year. They're going to head out to the US-Russian line, which is like 600 miles away from Dutch Harbor, to fish for Opelio crab. The Summer Bay is doing the derby cod fishing, and this is the first time this season that we'll see the Summer Bay, because Wild Bill went with Landon, went and fished in Norway with Sig. He wasn't in for the Paradise season, so now he's going to be doing the derby style cod fishing. And same with the Brenna A and the Saga. The Saga will also be in the derby style cod fishing. And this episode starts out with the Saga. The Saga's in Dutch Harbor, and Captain Jake has a wild idea to weld 4 pots stacked on top of each other and load that Franken pot up with 1,000 pounds of bait to bring in the gray cod. So he'll create like a big area where there'll be a lot of gray cod to catch. So they're welding that and getting that ready to go, getting their gear stacked on. And then once that happens, they head out to the derby cod grounds. Then it goes to the Northwestern, and the Northwestern, Mandy just gets on board the Northwestern, and they head out to the Opelio grounds where Sig wants to fish. Then it goes to the Summer Bay, and they just get out to the cod grounds to start their derby style season, and they start setting their gear. Then it goes to the Saga, and the Saga is heading out to the Paradise grounds, and Jake's about 150 miles away from where he wanted to set his gear. The weather is just nasty outside. Every time a wave comes over the bow of the Saga, it just brings salt water over the pots in the boat. That salt water just starts freezing, and it's getting to a point where Jake's like, I'm just gonna have to drop my gear because I don't want to risk sinking the Saga. So they get the Franken pot set, and then they start sending most of their gear, and they'll probably leave 20 plus pots on deck because they're not exactly where they want to be. And with cod fishing, once you start hauling in cod pots, you have 72 hours to catch them, and then head into town to offload for them to be as fresh as they possibly can be. Cod per pound is 50 cents per pound, and some of these fish can be 20 plus pounds or less than that. Then it goes to the Northwestern, and Mandy's at the helm of the Northwestern, and they're like 200 plus miles away from where they wanted to set their Opelio pots. They're also starting to really ice up. They had like a 2-day weather window where they could get to the grounds and set their gear, but it moved in faster than they thought. Everyone was sleeping except for Mandy. It gets to a point where Mandy wakes up Sig and is like, we're taking on a bunch of ice. It's been going on for about an hour, and it's just getting worse and worse. So Sig tells Mandy to go wake up the crew, and the crew starts setting their gear 200 plus miles away from where they originally wanted to. Then it goes back to the Saga. The Saga has all their gear set, and they let it sit for a while. Then they start going through their gear. The first pot comes up with like 20 gray cod. It just keeps getting better and better. It goes up to like 40 some, then 50 plus gray cod, so they're gonna fill up the boat pretty quickly and get their first trip done. And Jake's like, that Franken pot is really working. And he's the only one in this area where he's lured the gray cod into. So he's hopefully gonna do really well. And I think there's like 9 million pounds of gray cod quota to catch. So once that quota runs out, that season's done, and then the other boats will move to Opelio crab or other fisheries with crab. Then it goes to the Brenna A. They start sending their gear, and as they get quite a few pots, an alarm starts going off in the wheelhouse. Sean's looking to see what it is, and he sees that the port main engine, it's overheating. So he has some of the crew members go down, and the engine should normally be about 180 degrees, but it was almost 400 degrees, so they shut down the port main engine, figure out what the problem is, and they don't have the part, so they're gonna have to stop everything and go back into town and get it fixed. Then it goes to the Summer Bay, and the Summer Bay, they start going through their gear. They're getting 40, 50 plus gray cod. And then while they're going through one of their pots, Wild Bill loses all steering. He calls Landon and some of the crew to go see what's up. And what happened was hydraulics was leaking out of a thing for the steering. So they bring it up to Wild Bill and he's like, this is where it was leaking. So Wild Bill's like, just replace those fittings and see if that does it. So they do that, get it fixed, and get it back working, and Wild Bill's able to steer again. And then they get back to fishing again. Then it goes back to the Saga, and the Saga is still doing really well with gray cod they're catching. Then it goes to the Northwestern, and Mandy's out on deck with the guys, and Sig asks the guys to send Mandy up to the wheelhouse so he can talk with her, because with how things are going this season, with the ice coming down and the ice building up so quickly, he doesn't want Mandy on the boat because of Mandy and Clark's daughter, Sailor. He doesn't want the whole family to be on the boat and something bad happen where the Northwestern sinks and everyone is lost. He doesn't want his granddaughter to not have a mom and dad. She's thinking about it, and then she realizes, oh yeah, that's probably not the best idea. He's like, I'll let you decide what you want to do. You can either stay or go home. Then it goes back to the Saga, and they're going through their gear, and they're doing really well. And it goes back to the Summer Bay, and the Summer Bay is still doing really well, and they're going to fill up their boat pretty quickly. Then it goes back to the Summer Bay. It was a salty take. It was like how to keep the crew entertained and from not sleeping, and Wild Bill is basically doing karaoke, singing a song, and it was pretty funny. Then it goes back to the Saga. The Saga, they reached their 72-hour deadline, and they have to head into town, and they're going to go through False Pass to offload. And False Pass is a very tough place to get through because you have to follow these buoys. If you make one wrong step, you're going to beach the boat or get the boat stuck on the bottom of this pass. He has the crew up there watching to make sure everything's going well, and they are missing a buoy because that buoy got pulled under the water. They got like 2 feet away from hen bottom, but luckily they made it through and went to their cod tender to offload their cod, and then they'll get back out to the cod grounds. Then it goes back to the Summer Bay, and the Summer Bay finishes up their cod trip, and they head to offload again. Then it goes back to the Brenna A, and the Brenna A got their engine fixed, and they start heading on back out to the cod grounds. And then it goes back to the Northwestern, and the Northwestern's in St. Paul, dropping Mandy off to go home for the rest of the season and take care of Sailor. So that is how episode 14 of season 18 of Deadliest Catch ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. Also, please share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.